Hello.
I think. Hello.
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 We're sitting in like the old people chairs. Hello. Hello. Welcome to episode 3 of Side Iron. It's my turn to introduce it. We decided 30 seconds before the cameras went live.
30 seconds, that's generous.
It was more like 5 seconds. Yeah, this is a show where we talk about Cold Iron. You know, what went wrong, what went right, what we would do differently. I don't know.
All that stuff.
Yeah, I guess
We answer your questions.
I'm giving you the pitch because it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Been a month.
It's been a while because we got tornadoed.
We got tornadoed and not sharknadoed, unfortunately.
No, that would have been fun.
No.
I like Sharknado.
Many people's lives were affected by
I
the tornado.
didn't say the tornado was fun. I said a Sharknado would have been fun. The tornado was very tragic.
Yeah.
I'm not making light of the tornado.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. I don't think a Sharknado would be very fun either.
I like sharks.
Do you want
yeah.
them flung at your face at high speed?
Maybe. I cheer for the sharks in that movie. Thumbs up the chat if you also cheer for the sharks in Sharknado. Right, so we got tornadoed.
Yeah.
We personally, thankfully, did not get
Yeah,
tornadoed.
I was without power for most of, well, all of the weekend, really, and so I made the executive decision that weekend to not do a Cold Iron episode. We had, most of our players were without power, most of the Ottawa folks were out without power, so it just made more sense. Yeah. And because of that, and we didn't want to get out of sync with the alternating between the campaigns, we delayed Alicia's Cold Iron game, and here we are.
Yeah, so that, I guess, is our first, we can talk about the difficulties in running a campaign in that regard. So
when there's a tornado, there's not a lot you can do.
No, there's not a lot you can do. But for real, if someone needs to cancel, it really does throw a wrench in our in our thing. Yes, Team Shark. Sharks Forever.
Well, who could be writing that?
I don't know who could be writing that. They're definitely not
some
sitting
sycophant on the couch.
Right over there. It really... The timing, which we've talked about in our last Side Iron, we talked about sort of the challenges of keeping our campaigns on the same timeline in-game. Also means sort of out of game, we need to stay more or less
yeah,
in sync.
It wouldn't have made sense to have 2 of your games in a row necessarily.
No.
Maybe down the line we might want to do something like that, or you know, if the look of the or like what the game looks like, you know, in 4 months might be a little different, right? So there may not be 2 groups anymore. Maybe
That's
one
true.
Big group
Maybe one big group
that we alternate. So, it was really more just a stressful time, and
it was stressful.
We maybe could have thrown something together on Saturday, but I would have had to travel somewhere else, and I was, no power, all our food was going bad. It was just like not a good day to be doing things.
Yeah.
And then we didn't do a Side Iron because there was only going to be one episode
to talk about.
And I mean, it was an excellent episode by you, but although I don't remember it that well, I do remember enjoying watching it. We just wanted to have enough content to talk about it.
Yeah.
So.
And now here we are. You don't remember my episode. I actually haven't watched your episode
yet. This is going to be good, folks. It's going to be good.
Because I was away for the weekend and
that's why we've got Charlie.
Shirked my responsibilities. Yes, that's why we've got Charlie. Everyone also thumbs up in the chat if you are Team Charlie here in the lab. I don't know how well you can see him on camera. So I haven't seen your episode yet, so it's going to be really... I'm actually kind of excited about it. I want to hear you talk about it, without me having seen it. I can't...
All right.
I can't, impact you. I can't be like, but what about that one thing that happened?
You're not stifling my creativity. Well, I mean, what happened on yours? Jog the memory.
Okay.
They got back to Winter Oak, right?
They got back to Winter Oak, and they... that was exciting. For a town called Winter Oak, we have spent almost no time in Winter Oak prior to that episode. So, got back in town, and they went and they talked to Vaxis, and he was maybe acting kind of weird. They thought that was strange. Then they went to a tavern, like you do. Met the cool gnome.
That's right. Perny
tavern
really
king.
wanted to drink.
Yep. Well, no, Perny wanted to eat. Perny was hungry. Perny always wants to eat. Then they went to Jory's house for a little bit, and geez, even I don't remember. And then, it's like I might have this handy notebook that helps me out. Then they went to sneak in to the elder's home because of Vaxis acting weird. And so
And it ended with a big boom.
it ended with a big boom, yes, that everyone heard coming from the Acorn Academy in the center of the town.
That's right.
And, very important, Io and Og did some shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always the best part of any episode.
Yeah. So that's what happened.
Right?
I dropped some storylines. I had a whole list. In fact, you can see them all here. This whole list of potential storylines. We've talked before about how, like, organized I am.
And did they
They're
pick the one that's
color-coded.
invisible and
They picked none of these. Yeah, they picked the invisible ink one. You know, I was all like, hey, what about this strike? And they were like, anyways, a bird. Like players do.
Yeah, anyways, a bird is an alternate title for D&D, I think. Anyways, a bird.
So that happened.
Yeah.
I love my players. I do. As per usual, they never do what I expect them to do. You can't. You literally cannot prepare.
I think we're just going to be talking about this same topic every episode because it's
True.
really... You're just going to have to learn it someday. It's a lesson you're
One,
going to have to
one
learn.
day I will learn. But my meticulous
It's great.
planning.
It's and you know what? The fact that you got all this stuff prepared means that when they just wandered around direction, you just pick something on
It's
the
true.
list and have it happen.
It's true.
See,
And I will be clear that I wasn't expecting all of this to happen. There were a bunch of story threads that
Yeah,
I
of
made
course.
notes about. And it's just that I dropped them and nobody pulled on any of them, which is fine.
Yeah.
I think there's something to learn there too, perhaps. If I drop them again and my players don't pull on them, what that tells me is these are not interesting storylines for them, so maybe I need to go back to the drawing board,
Yeah.
potentially.
And I to talk about my game a little bit, I introduced a few new NPCs and fleshed them out. God, I forget his name now. The representative of the hoity-toity rich part of Bellisk, who was a politician, he came out of the private cars as they were heading back to the laboratory cars, and he was like in a suit and like dress shoes and stuff, and he was trying to step through the snow without getting his pant legs wet and stuff like that. So I introduced him as this. Someone had he had met. Oh, we had a new player join us. We had
Yeah, you
Bianca
had a
join us.
player.
She's a.
I also had a new player, actually.
That's right.
We failed to mention that. We'll talk about that in a second.
That's right, new players and stuff. Nigel, that's right. Thank you, Emily. Nigel something.
Good thing our players watch.
Yeah. What am I getting at here? This is the sleepy edition, by the way.
Yeah,
of Cold Iron.
sleepy edition.
Yeah, we both had either long days or long weekends, and both in some cases, and lots of food was consumed, and we're still like.
Canadian Thanksgiving, yo!
That's right. I just call it. Well, I guess Turkey Day. You don't.
I don't eat any turkey,
Yeah.
no. And I don't have that tryptophan problem because I don't eat any turkey. I just eat too much and then get tired, in general, every day of my life.
So what were we talking about?
Your episode.
Yeah, so I introduced him, and what I like to do with it is give them little seeds of things every time they meet another NPC, and now they've cottoned on to certain NPCs, and some NPCs they don't really give a crap about, and that's cool. Like, they don't seem to have any interest in interacting with the medics, the clerics, right now. That's fine. Now I know that I don't need to plant any seeds there, but with Nigel, he come out of the train, and I decided that was an opportunity to, on the fly, have this be one of the people that... Because technically my new player, Ruby Eyes, she's been on the train for a little while.
Yeah.
So this gave me an opportunity. Ruby Eye had helped her fix his bed because someone had removed all the screws. Someone pranked him.
That's rude.
And I got very excited that she could remove screws from someone's bed and ruin their bed. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe that'll be a recurring theme. We don't know. So yeah, I like to plant seeds and then just see what I like in the form of NPCs, and then see what they want to sort of chase.
Yeah.
Like Farg has become a very key. Farg was like, what's a funny word for a hobgoblin? And this is just gonna be a hobgoblin that's sweating bullets all the time because he's supposed to be a good wizard, and there's this legacy for hobgoblins that where they're kind of awful. So that was basically his hook. But now he's become this very sympathetic, very seemingly loved by players character. So now I know Farg is a good delivery vehicle for strange happenings around the train. So.
It's interesting. You've had several episodes to sort of develop these NPCs, and now you're at the point where your players can start to. Oh, bye. Our guests are left.
And now we're down to 0 viewers.
Yep, that's it. Might as well call it. You've had several episodes to develop these NPCs because they've been on the train, they've been around the train. My people have not been home, so there's been no NPCs for my players to interact with.
The goblin wagon is kind of like the closest thing.
Yeah. Oh, and Mrs. Potts. Love Mrs. Potts. We got some Mrs. Potts artwork out there on our Twitter and Instagram. She's everybody's favorite Cobalt Granny. But besides the goblin cart and Mrs. Potts, there's really been not a lot of NPCs. So, and because they didn't do very much in town, they didn't interact with many people, there weren't a ton of NPCs that I got to really introduce and dig into. But I'm looking forward to that, aspect of breathing life into my town through the NPCs.
Anna's not sold just yet. Are you saying that Anna isn't big on Farg, Emily? But he's so lovable.
Do you have a favorite NPC?
From Cold Iron?
Yeah.
Walter was in the running for a long time, the engineer of the train. The sandwich moment a couple episodes ago where the Walter special. But hobgoblins and sympathetic monster races have always been my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And hobgoblins in particular, I find, because they're kind of bred in this military way and stuff. But I think Farg has grown into the character I like the most.
Not Jonas or Jonas if you're in Winter Oak.
Jonas is great. Jonas is good, but I just like as far as the interactions with, Farg. There's a Sierra helping him out with the thing and giving her kind of this humanizing moment kind of thing, and is just never wanting to sleep because he never wants. He's kind of like a college student that's really keen on getting into the honors program, and he's just desperate to make sure everyone knows that he can do his job right, and it's just fun to roleplay. And I think he's an underdog, and a lot of my characters are people who are on the run from things or who are behaving differently from how they are expected to. Ruby Eye's background involves a lot of behaving in an undwarf-like manner, and so she and Farg bonded right away, which is kind of a fun thing. Normally, the goblinoid races don't get super along with the dwarves.
Yeah.
So her two friends now are the hobgoblin and the goblin.
Nice.
So it's neat.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think monster races and Bellisk have always been important to me as well, and having it because it's a melting pot like New York.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone says they're big fantasy cities like fantasy New York.
Yeah.
It's just a good analogy.
It is a good analogy. So you introduced a new player.
Yep. Bianca joined us.
Yeah.
Another mum who's happy to. Both our new players were mums.
That's true.
And and as you were saying, as a feminist show, it's important that we show all kinds of women, and so it's nice to have them on board. That's not the reason we invited them, of course.
No, but at least half of our players are moms.
That's right. Yeah.
Most of my group is moms, actually. Literally the majority. One of them is my own mom.
That's right. Of course, we got a lot of moms up in here.
Just tons of moms. Moms everywhere.
So, is that relevant right now? Are we just tired and saying moms over and over again?
Maybe.
I don't know.
But I mean, no, you're right. It speaks to... Well, I'm right. I said it. You're right to bring it up.
I'm right to agree with you.
Yes. Yeah. That it's a feminist show. That actually came up because one of our players was talking about how they might have to have...
Un bébé,
yes, with them. And of course, I was like,
hell no.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Because it's a feminist show, and you should have, Moms still do the majority of the child care, and I don't want no moms left out of D&D.
Yeah,
If
and
they
I
got
think
babies.
what's cool is we've given an opportunity also. Like, the online, running it all online means that they can actually play with us.
Yeah.
Like, Kristen talks a lot about. Kristen plays
Our new
Fleas.
player,
Fleas.
Fleas, who is
Fleas
great.
Bogbottom.
Yep, Fleas, our little goblin friend who has joined the fray. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, she really gave him a hand last time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Fleas Perny relationship. We said no spoilers though.
Oh, well,
We've
that's a
actually
pun
been
that
not
only
very
people
good.
would know.
Yeah, it's a fun. Go watch the episode if you haven't seen it. Actually, if you haven't seen it, why are you watching Side Iron? That makes it sound like I'm like, go away. Don't go
Well,
away.
Emily doesn't watch the other show,
But-
but she watches Side
yeah.
Iron religiously.
Yes.
Anyway.
She knows half the show, and that's fine.
Yeah, Kristen is an old friend of mine that has been playing RPGs for a long time. She's one of my favorite people to play with, so she was on the short list when we were putting this together. Took a little while for us to get her on board because of summer being really busy when you have kids.
Life.
But she's so excited. Like, she talks to me about it all the time, and I think she's always in the chat too, like,
Yeah.
bringing up stuff. And, like, just so excited to have a regular game and
Mhm.
things. You could see when you're watching, like, she's grinning ear to ear,
Yeah.
even though she didn't say or do a whole lot in that episode. Like, you know, what she did was great, but, like, it was kind
Yeah.
of, she just seemed to be enjoying
Yeah.
being there, which is great. It's just nice to give people who wouldn't otherwise get an opportunity. Or,
It's true. It's true. And I really liked, actually, that, like, she slotted in really well. I had some concerns, not about Kristen, but about, you know, you've set up your episodes a little bit, your group is starting to gel, and you're bringing someone new in.
Yeah, and it can be like a bomb going off in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a little, how are they going to fit? How is this going to, like,
Yeah, but both our new
Making
players
sure.
did really well.
yeah, just,
Bianca's character Ruby, I got everyone day drunk, like, within the first 10 minutes of the game, so
I
they were
mean,
all on
that's
board.
a hit.
Yeah. So, and then drunkenly wandered through the woods looking for things.
You know,
They-
for city folk, I feel like you guys have spent a lot of time in the woods.
well, there's all there is, really. Sierra doesn't want to leave the train, and Lunabelle is sick of being on the train all the time, so they're just at loggerheads over that. But
That's actually great. That sort of tension that's
Yeah.
built in. I mean, you don't want to have your players
Yeah, they're not
players
squabbling, yeah.
hating each other. That's not great. But that character tension is like excellent fodder for us. I feel like
yeah,
when my players' characters are butting heads, it's like a great time for me. 'Cause it means I get to like pull on some strings.
that's how you know
She's a good fit
she's a good fit.
because of the day drinking.
The
I
day
think.
drinking, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this delay is super weird. I apologize to everyone who has to put up with us, like, not getting your comments right away.
This is how it works.
Yeah. I'm checking my phone, not to be rude, because I'm looking to see if we have questions. We do not have questions, but Emily did retweet
Thank you,
our
Emily.
tweet, so thanks for that.
You get a gold star. You've watched 3 episodes of Cold Iron.
Yeah, our most loyal viewer, I think.
100% viewership.
Yeah, my mom's not here, so Emily takes the lead.
Drunk science is a progress theme. It is.
Science in general is actually a good theme. I feel like that's coming through on your
Yeah.
your thing.
There's definitely this past episode got a little more information about the goop. We had talked a little bit about it, but I kind of just, I mean, my group was always going to be the group that investigated the goop. I think.
Yeah.
The goop group, as it were.
Well, I also want to remind people who haven't seen. I don't think this is a spoiler because we're going back to our first episodes here. The goop appeared different to our two groups, which I think is relevant to sort of
Yes.
what
and
happened.
its properties are more revealed in my episode. With Fargside. Good old Farg.
Good old Farg.
That guy. That
But
Farg.
I'm really glad to see the science coming through because when we started talking about this campaign, we did talk sort of thematically about what was going to happen sort of in each thing. You know, I've got environmentalism and feminism and eco-terrorism and stuff happening on my end, and you've got like science and technology and
And chopping a lot of trees down efficiently.
that too, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Anna and Lunabelle are employed by Progress, so that was kind of brought up a little bit about, like, hey, do some work. So their boss is kind of a pushover, I think, is how I've been playing their boss. But yeah, I like that they're curious about these things and that they go and check in on it and on the goop and stuff. They really care about the goop.
Well, I mean,
It's a mystery.
appears important. It's a
It's a
mystery.
mystery, yeah.
I mean, we didn't put the goop there for no reason.
Yeah. I let them fool around with what was probably, what I would probably say is a pretty high level magic item for someone to have access to at level 3, the lenses of true seeing.
But they don't have the item.
No, they belong to their boss. So, yeah. I can't remember who tried to swipe it. I think Lunabelle tried to steal them away, but she rolled a 1 or something.
Do you guys have a rogue? I don't remember now. I forget what everybody. You guys don't have a rogue. You
No.
need a Perny. Perny's gonna totally take those.
Do you think the internet can handle 2 Pernies?
No, but I think that your group is gonna be shook when they meet Perny. And also probably about 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah. Because of their pockets being empty.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let them know. More money she can't spend.
More money she can't
That was
spend.
last episode for you,
That
wasn't
was
it?
last
Or
episode.
Perny realized money was useless and learned that money was useless in Winter Oak. Joe was hilarious. I think
Yeah.
Joe was personally upset that she had nowhere to spend all the stolen money. Especially since the funniest thing is that Perny and Jory had like offered her a bunch of money to do something, and now she's found out that it can't be used anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because, so Perny is new to Winter Oak. That
Yes.
was fun, including my characters getting to see things for the first time. I got the joy of being able to make that make sense by Perny seeing things for the first time. Oh, Anna is technically a rogue. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah. You're a very different rogue than
She went mastermind
Perny.
at 3rd level.
That's interesting.
And yeah, because she's very much played up the idea that Anna is not super bright. But then she has the mastermind and learned a bunch of languages, and they wove it into the story good. But,
Yeah.
Were you surprised by any of your 3rd level? Because this is our first games as 3rd levels too, right?
Yes. No. No.
Everyone had kind of figured it out.
Everyone had kind of figured out. Some people already had a sense of what they were going into already, so I sort of expected that. Joe pitched her character to me already knowing that she was going to be an arcane trickster, level 3, that's built right into her backstory.
Yeah, see, I don't know her backstory fully, but it seems like it's baked in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Og, my mom was thinking about going College of Glamour. We talked about it. You know, she just thought it was the best fit. Shauna, who plays Jory, didn't have a decision to make as the druid. She had no level 3
Right, she had already picked her archetype.
decision to make. And obviously it was the first time we were seeing Fleas. So Fleas was coming in already at level 3.
Is Fleece just a thief? Like rogue thief?
No, Fleas is a
Ranger.
Is a ranger.
Ranger.
And is it the Beast Hunter one?
Is it Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter, that's what she is.
Oh, that's
Monster
interesting.
Hunter.
Our Ranger's Monster Hunter too.
Yeah,
She
they
was-
hunt very different things.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and then Io, our barbarian, I believe, also that Becky had already decided what she was doing. And oh my god, I'm such a bad DM, I forgot what path she took.
Was it the totem?
I thought it was going to be Totem, but I think she went with something different. I really hope that she's not watching. Except that I'll probably tell her about this in the chat. And we'll be like, remember when I forgot what you were? Terrible DM.
No, I don't know. I don't know what my players are.
That's true, you didn't even know that one of your players was a rogue.
Right, I just completely
Yeah.
wrote her out of the story.
And we just talked about her.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. There's a lot of information you have to hold in your head when you're running a campaign.
And I think like
so
the specific details of their character, although I guess their archetype is a pretty big decision, but
it's new. It's only been one episode.
Yeah.
Also, my episode was like a bajillion weeks ago, so...
I can do it. Anna is a rogue. She went mastermind. Lunabelle is a wizard. Didn't have to pick something at 3rd, but she's the weird arcanomancer, I think is what it's called, from
From Unearthed Arcana.
That's why she has the weird robo armor and casts all her spells. Then there is Sierra, who is redacted, and there is Walker, who is the monster hunter ranger, and then Ruby Eye is a fighter. I think she went. She went Battle Master.
Interesting.
Which she was gonna go with a bog standard fighter, and because she hasn't played D&D since 2nd edition, and I said, you know, a lot of people will say that's the easiest one to play, but I think like a champion fighter or whatever. But you're smart, you know, like don't limit yourself because you think it's gonna be complicated. You know, and Battle Master is a great class. I like it a lot. It's kind of a spellcasting class because technically, you have like this little list of abilities that you can cash in resources to use, right? Your what's it called, Ignacio? They've got the maneuvers, and then you have the dice that are. Ignacio's over there. I'm going to talk. He knows all this.
Literally everything.
He knows all this nerd shit, so we always talk to him about it.
I think it's battle.
Maneuver? Is it not maneuver dice? Battle dice? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
He's gonna look it up though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hop into my brain.
Put it in the chat.
So yeah. So I do know all of my players' things.
That's great. You're better than me, I guess.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Sierra had some more information revealed, which is fun. Again, always fun to slowly reveal some secrets as time goes by. It was players revealing it from other players, like using the true sight glasses and stuff. So, you know, it was just the right time for it to happen. I like that it wasn't, hey, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe you should mention your whatever. You know, superiority dice. Thank you, Ignacio.
Yeah, no, I loved the way that it came out naturally. I didn't watch the episode, but we talked about it before, so if I sound like I know what I'm talking about, that's why.
Because she does.
I do, ish. I love the way that it came out naturally. I'm always torn about when to push players to sort of reveal. Sometimes you want that, you know, you want to push players to reveal a little bit of their story. Maybe it's the right time. I mean, of course, it's always in their hands.
Yeah, especially because, like, Sierra's holding back abilities, you know, like, to kind of keep secrets and things, and that's going to stop being fun for her eventually, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the whip is great. Whipping stuff is great, but she has other abilities and weaponry and stuff that she wants to use, so, you know, getting the ball rolling on making her more comfortable with now someone knows one of her secrets, you know?
Yeah.
So...
Emily says, I just spew my entire backstory in the 2nd episode. That also works.
It helps.
Also works. That's what Perny did. Perny just did a backstory dump. A fair amount, not all of it.
Just took a big old backstory dump.
Just a big old backstory dump. Right in the woods, actually.
Yeah.
Dumped it in the woods.
Emily did it in the middle of a moving train, I think.
Oh.
No, 2nd episode, you wouldn't have been moving.
Yeah, they haven't really... This is the first time they moved in a bit.
That's right. The train finally moved. The weird tree had been removed, and I had said that they had laid some more track down.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started moving, and then immediately got ambushed. Well, an hour later into the ride, got ambushed by some wild elves of the woods.
Right. Ooh, that's a thing we should talk about. That we talked about a little
My
bit
elf
today.
decisions.
Your elf decisions.
Yeah, because we don't want this to be extremely racist, as we talk about all the time. We don't want it to be racist at all. We don't want it to just be a little bit racist.
Racist.
It's not allowed to be any racist. Okay, Emily said she took a dump in the dining car.
Okay, well, I mean, as
That's
you do.
unsanitary. So, so this is their first encounter with wild elves of the non-hippie type. Like, Fennel is a bit of like a... I think the city wild elves are less, like, extreme, and they're more like, bring it back, man, to the trees.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Good.
That's my elf impersonation,
Impersonation,
man.
yeah.
But then the wild... Shut up, Ignacio. This isn't your show. The wild elves are... I wanted them to be a little more aggressive, a little more tribal, a little more mad that the train was here, you know?
But not racist.
Right, which is
Right.
the whole
Which
point
is
of
like,
this.
yeah, that's a danger. As soon as we put it in the Western setting, and we've talked about this before, was making sure we avoided that trope. Like, these are not supposed to be a stand-in for Native Americans. They're not quote-unquote, like, Indians in the woods. So talk about how you...
Well, I mean, I just
address
described
that.
them differently. I mean, I said they had a more, because it was a wintry, they had a lot of furs. I said they were kind of like a Viking kind of look. You know, very warm furs with big boots and stuff like that. And then I had them riding on axe beaks, which are my favorite mount from D&D, which are just large kind of chocobo-style birds that are really awesome and underused. And that way we get away from like the horse-backed Native Americans with like bow and arrows. They had bow and arrows, but they're on the back of axe beaks, so it was a little different.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they're...
And I think not treating them like a sort of indigenous group in the woods that these people are sort of like invading and colonizing. Although that's a theme, you like by not sort of making that a predominant thing. it
Yeah, I mean,
helps
we're
to,
focusing
like,
more
lessen-
on Winter Oak as sort of the indigenous
Yeah.
group, even though they're
But they're
a
not
lot of
even
them aren't
really
even, yeah.
indigenous, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just-
think of Winter Oak really, actually, as like a frontier town that everyone has forgotten about.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I sort of approach it.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, as to everything we do, we've got ideas for how these elves, what's up with these elves behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know, is there someone pulling the strings, that kind of thing. So, we ended on a cliffhanger with a mammoth, repeat
Yeah,
mammoth.
repeat mammoth.
Maybe same mammoth, maybe different mammoth. We didn't really have another mammoth.
Maybe this forest is just lousy with mammoths.
It's just one mammoth who's got 4 or 5 jobs. They're just trying to keep their mammoth babies' mouths filled with
But that would
mammoth
that
baby
would make
food.
it more than one mammoth then, if the mammoth had mammoth babies.
There's one adult mammoth.
Can we stop saying mammoth now?
No.
It's lost all meaning.
So yeah, it ended up again. My battle ended on cliffhanger.
You're so bad for
Our
that.
players just love role playing with each other, which is like a delight. I don't have to talk for most of my episodes because they're just like making jokes and doing whatever and having a good time and coming up with their own storylines and talking to NPCs. And I don't want to stop them from doing it. Yes, I had a fight planned. Yes, I wanted to start at the break, not 45 minutes after the break. But that's just the way it's going.
Yeah.
And I find the 3-hour format restricting sometimes in that way. I mean, a lot of our home games end on a cliffhanger in the middle of fights. And
I don't have a problem with actually ending on cliffhangers. It is the fact that because of the particularly unique format of our show, when you end on a cliffhanger, we just have to keep that in mind, sort of moving forward, in order to sort of stay.
I think
more or
things are.
less on the
I
same
also was
schedule.
fairly confident that things are going to slow down quite a bit in Winter Oak right now. You're going to be going more from day to day as opposed.
I mean, they
to
spent an entire day. They just passed one
day.
single day.
Yeah.
In the whole episode, so.
Yeah, so it is slowing down.
Yeah.
And so I'm not as concerned.
Yeah.
You
You didn't pick up on the thing I left for you, though.
And that is just because normally the episodes are so fresh in my brain.
Yeah.
And it's really what it came down to. We did talk about it shortly after.
And then tornado.
And then the tornado hit.
Yeah. So.
We're gonna blame a lot of stuff on this tornado, folks, because it's tornado's fault.
Everything.
Tornado knows what it did. So yeah, like I forgot. That's really what it came down to. And you were, you were away. So normally you're like just hovering on old Facebook, just out of view, where I can quickly answer questions or you can remind me of things. But this time you were, at your with your family for Thanksgiving. And that's where you should be on Thanksgiving. So, I'm not complaining, but I just forgot. I completely forgot.
Yeah. It happens.
I
I think also I kind of forgot. Otherwise, I would have reminded you ahead of time.
Yeah.
Again, because of this tornado too, I feel like we didn't talk quite as much, sort of going into your episode as we've talked.
No,
before,
because it landed on a
so-
holiday weekend and all kinds of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's it's fine. It's just what's going to happen. I think. I am thinking of introducing it after the fact by having someone have noticed it.
Yeah.
I might feed that to one of my characters to have noticed it.
I mean, you can play with your time a little bit. I mean, that's what's kind of neat, right? Like, oh, I did tell people I was going to. I promised them the last time that I would know how many days had passed in my game. Since we got to the train crash, it has been 6 days on the Winter Oak side. Since we got to the train crash. There's a few days before that of traveling, so...
I think that shakes out well on my end. I think it's fine.
Yeah. So I feel like as long as one of us is keeping track of the time, more
We
or
need
less,
to
the
make-
other one can, like, fudge
We
things
need to make
a bit.
that calendar that we were talking about
Yeah.
so that we can actually keep track.
Yeah, we do. Things we can do that make me excited are planning things, so I can make a
Yeah,
calendar.
we just need to, Google
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and then just be like, on this day this happened, and etc.
Sure.
etc. We made a literal calendar. I don't think we told anybody that. We came up with the days and the months and the length.
That's
of
right,
the days
yeah.
And the months and some holidays.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
spent a lot of time thinking about that.
Yeah, and now we can't keep track of the time in our game. As
Well,
it
there's
goes,
like-
but
It's some weird stuff. There's like, oh, it's the 34th of what? It's just hard to wrap your head around a fantasy thing like that, so...
yeah, and because that was kind of me too. I was like pushing to make it not like the Gregorian calendar. I was like, let's make it different, and maybe
I think we came up with some cool stuff.
I like it. I like the calendar. You know what we should do? We should release the calendar so people can
It's
see
just on my phone.
the calendar of Bellisk. Isn't this a fascinating TV, everyone? It's based
Well, I
on
mean-
dwarf stuff.
Well, whatever. Then maybe someone's interested.
It's a part of world building, and it's also obviously part of our campaign. So.
Yeah, I gotta remember where I wrote it down.
Probably, I don't think it's in our Dropbox. We're very bad at organizing, and by we're very bad at organizing, I mean you are not super great at organizing.
Here it is. It's the last thing open in OneNote. So we named all of the days of the week, of which there are 7, after various tools of forging. Because the dwarves
Yeah.
are so smug and feeling so clever about this. So there's Hammer's Day, Anvil's Day, blah, 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 Chisel Day, Bellows Day, and the 7th day is Smith's Day, where you take your break.
Yes. We did talk about all of these
We
things.
did. And then the months are based around the production
Brewing.
of brewing beer,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty fun.
That was we really had fun. I think coming up with the months.
Swigtide being the December of the 42nd of Swigtide. Oh dear.
Yeah. How many weeks did we say? So they said 7-week days. 7, 14.
If there's
21,
42 days
28.
in Swigtide, then there are 7 weeks. 7 weeks in a month.
Wow. What was? I think we said it's like fall time right now. Didn't we say it was fall?
I do in these notes. The campaign started on the 8th of Kegtide.
All right. When's the keg tide? That's
It's-
late in the year.
It's the month before Swigtide.
Yeah. All right. So we're coming up. To answer your question, Emily, we are coming up on Fantasy Christmas then, if we're following the
Well, coming up, because there are again
7
42
weeks.
days in every month. So, being that it's
Um,
now, if we started on the 8th, wait, what does campaign start mean?
I think that was like the first day
The first day of
of my game, and then we traveled
3 days,
3 days.
and then 6 days of. So, it is currently the 17th of Kegtide. 10 days away from the Barreling Festival.
Although, see, I knew we had a festival. Oh shit! It's good to know that. We need to prep for the Barreling Festival.
It's in less
I
than-
assume this is like the Oktoberfest that Ignacio's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a lot of exclamation marks from Emily. And then New Year's Eve is called Coldest Night,
Right.
the 42nd of Swigtide. And then the 1st of Miltide is Coldest Morn. But we were saying, like, all through Swigtide, they kind of partied. It was a whole,
Yeah.
like,
It's a whole
7
month.
weeks.
Yeah, 7 weeks of partying. It's the longest fantasy Christmas
Yeah.
/ Yuletide / other holidays because I actually want to be inclusive here.
Yes.
You know, Hanukkah, all of that. General, like, holiday
Yeah.
season.
The winter solstice thing.
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll share this amazing calendar.
We will. It's super good. You'll love it. We'll put it out on the Twitter. I'm committed to that. We'll make Ignacio draw something nice with it, and then we'll put it on the Twitter.
Yeah, Boil Tide was the summer.
Okay, can we talk about how that one actually sounds a little bit gross?
Yeah. Boiling is, like a boil is gross, yeah. Mill Tide, Mash Tide, Louter Tide, Boil Tide, Work Tide, Ferment Tide. Probably should workshop that one again. Keg Tide and Swig Tide, yeah.
Cake Tide and Swig Tide are my favorite, I
Yeah.
think.
And
Yeah.
every year is called a brew.
Yes.
So there are X number of brews. Well, no, there's one brew every year.
Yes. Takes a real long time to make this beer.
It's aged beer. Old beer.
I mean, dwarves live a long time, I guess, so they don't really care.
That's right, yeah. They can take their sweet time.
Yeah. So there we go, the calendar. World building. I mean, we can legitimately turn this a conversation about the importance of world building.
I guess so. If everything needs to be a learning round.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that was a fun thing I've never done before, and Matt Mercer is very good at having all of that stuff come up with. It was very important to us that it didn't sound like a bunch of random words all slammed together,
Yes.
like syllables
Yeah.
just like mashed together. So
Yeah, there were two things going into it. We wanted it to make logical sense in terms of words, and I was really strongly against just renaming our, our Gregorian
it's
calendar.
January
Yeah.
and October. Yeah, like boring.
Yeah.
So we went back to the basics of what I did set aside for the Frostfell and the mountains and the original deal with the dwarves and the
Yeah.
humans, and the dwarves were kind of like they uplifted the humans is how I feel it went, and maybe the humans didn't have a calendar, didn't really
Yeah,
keep
that's
track
what we
of
talked
stuff.
about. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
they
right,
Just,
yeah.
They just kind of like they were
It
just
was by the
arrived on
seasons
this
and-
continent, and like they weren't really doing much, and the dwarves already had this system in place, and
Right, because the temperature changes so little.
yes,
That we were like, they didn't base it on seasons
Yeah.
anymore. They based it on some other thing, because they're also under a mountain, so they
Yeah.
don't even see the
They
sky
don't-
most of the
yeah.
time.
and yeah, that's an important thing. I don't think we've talked about really. I'm really bad at bringing the winter aspect into the game. It's a thing I want to work on moving forward. Actually, you're good at like bringing it up each time.
I try and mention that it's there.
Yeah,
It's like the city folk. I guess it's become kind of it was a bit of a theme in this past episode. The city folk dealing with the snow, just not in the sense that they had to shovel it or plow it or whatever, but like the Richie Rich getting out of the thing and being like soaked up to his,
Yeah.
And then they drank on a roof. They drank on the roof of the lab car. They were really, once they realized you could get up to the roofs, they were just like, we're gonna drink on the roof. And Sierra didn't want to sit in the snow, and so Lunabelle melted a little spot for her. And so there's like a lot of interacting with the snow.
Yeah. And it's actually a thing that I wish I'd done a little better at my earlier things, because now we've gotten to Winter Oak, and one of the things about Winter Oak is that there's
It's not as snowy.
a thaw happening at a weird time of year when it should be
It's
cold
just
as balls.
moist.
Yeah. So, I wish I had played up the snow more.
There'll still be lots
but-
of snow.
Yeah. It's something I actually really like about our campaign. It's just this sort of winter background. Maybe it's the Canadian me, where we spend like 8 months of the year in winter, that I'm just like...
It sure doesn't feel like it
"Let's
today.
play the-" No, it does not. It is
It's humid as hell here.
balls hot here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't know what's going on.
It's
Our planet is
super
in
weird.
trouble, folks.
Yeah,
Reduce your
Real
carbon
bad.
footprint.
please do that. I did not reduce my carbon footprint today. I drove for 4 hours.
Yeah, but you don't eat any meat.
I
was
don't eat any
seeing
meat.
today
I don't
meat is
have
a
any
big thing.
children. I don't fly anywhere. So,
I fart into jars
good.
and store them.
Oh, that's nice.
I do not let them rise up to the ozone. Is that
Doing
still-
your part.
Is the ozone still a thing?
I don't know. But no one talks about it anymore.
No,
I don't know
like-
if that's because it's gone.
It was a
or-
big deal when we were kids, and then it's still there. It repaired itself, and they're like, oh shit. Great.
I guess that's why there's no climate change. We're getting real political on this stream today.
Yeah.
And silly.
Sorry, I guess.
And tired. I don't know. Our
Yeah.
game is political, though. So, you know what? I don't even give a shit.
Yeah, I guess. It hasn't gotten really heavy into the politics yet,
No.
but I feel like that's going to happen next game for you.
It's gonna happen, yeah. We're back in Winter Oak. One of the things that was really appealing to me was like telling these political stories. Ironically, now I'm gonna be running Dragon Heist, so I'm gonna just be rolling in these like political games. But yeah, so I'm excited to introduce the different factions, which I was hoping to do in my last episode and that didn't happen. But you brought up Matt Mercer. It's a thing that I love, which is the idea that the world is moving even when the players aren't interacting
Sure.
with it.
We talked about
So,
that a lot.
yeah. So, things that they didn't interact with
Are now proceeding.
are just going forward. Yeah. And so I think that that's going to be really interesting, especially in a game of sort of political hot potato, which everyone will discover is what's happening in Winter Oak. Is, you know, things are not as they seem, maybe. It's going to be interesting.
Is anything like it seems in Cold Iron?
Well, I mean, it seems like it's played by a bunch of cool ladies plus you, and that's true. So,
I mean, it's factual that a bunch of cool ladies and me play the game.
yes.
Mhm.
So that is as it seems.
It is, yes. I'm not secretly a lady, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got like a special exception to play.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm honored. I mean, I came up with the idea for the game.
You did.
So it would have been kind of a bummer for me if I ended up somehow getting
Yeah.
squeezed out of it.
Does that ever make you feel weird though that we like promoted as this like feminist show with all women players, and then you're just like, anyways, I'm the dude.
Well, I say all women players, and all feminist players is also true. At least I try to be.
Yeah, I actually don't know if all our players are feminists. I hope so. I
Oh,
didn't.
that's a good point.
I didn't quiz them. It was not like a
I
requirement.
feel
for
like
entry.
they are.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
setting these like bars though too of like making things so it's like all women or all feminists maybe. I got my new all queer game coming up. I'm just like picking identities and making games
That's right.
based around them.
I don't know what I could pick that wouldn't be offensive. Ignacio and I are going to do our all bird game.
All bird
folks.
game. Hey,
I guess we
Ignacio.
can't get pigeons to play the game.
You know what I would actually legitimately like to see on the topic of diversity?
Okay.
I would like to see Ignacio run an all people of color game on our channel.
Cool.
Do it. Thumbs up if Ignacio should run an all brown D&D game.
Get onto the Twitters, and get on the Instagrams, and go to the Chaotic Great, and you tell him, and you bother him until it's harassment levels.
Because white people told him to play a game.
Oh, shit.
This is
We did.
unacceptable.
We white people did it again. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But no, legitimately, I would like to see.
Yeah.
That's an area that I think we could improve. Is
Yeah.
having more diversity in that regard.
It's so tough. I mean, it's not tough, but because obviously there are people with color players out there, but it's
Obviously,
just like,
we play with some of them.
how do you do like the, like the cattle call for people? Like, you
Right.
can't be like, we need people of color to do this show. Like,
Well,
it's
so
just, and then we're white people.
I
It's
put
just
out-
like we're filling quotas.
when I put out my call for queer questers, I was hoping to get like a good mix of people. The only requirement was that you be somewhere on the LGBTQ plus spectrum.
Yeah.
And I noticed I was getting, not all, but I was getting a lot of white women. And so I put out a call specifically saying that I was looking for men, trans men, and or people of color, that I'd really like to receive applications from people who identified that way. I did not receive any applications, which was sad, but also I get it. I mean, you get a table of all dudes. I'm not super keen to sign up and be your token woman, and I also don't know how you're going to treat me. So I don't entirely blame people
Yeah, it's
for
just
being like, ooh, that white table, I don't know about that, because, like, we're the worst. White people are
Yeah.
the worst. Dudes are the worst. Etc. Hey, our political talk has brought us up a viewer.
excellent.
Talking about representation!
Welcome, Mayor Watson. I don't know. I'm assuming it's a
No,
politician.
that guy is definitely the worst.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Don't vote for him. Can I get in trouble for saying that? Don't vote for Watson if you're in Ottawa. That's my opinion.
To the 4 people who are watching, one of which is Ignacio, I'm pretty sure no one. If Mayor Watson popped in, I mean, he does show up to things.
That's true, but probably.
Did he show
not
up to
this.
Sidearm?
No one guessed on this note which of the Canadian senators were secret D&D players. I'm very sad about that.
Oh. Do you know? I didn't even.
No, I don't know. I just wanted people to guess. But
Oh.
then I realized, like, I am the uber nerd who's like, yeah, let me just rattle off the names of all these Canadian senators who, like, it's like inside baseball, you know? I feel like maybe people didn't engage because they
Emily's
don't know
calling
any.
the politics police on you.
Oh, damn. Oh, well. I had a good run.
You did.
You'll have to find someone to replace me.
It's impossible. The show's canceled.
Oh.
Well, Ignacio will do it or something. I don't know. So, yeah, we should talk about D&D again.
Yes, we should talk about. Well, I was trying to talk about D&D and Canadian senators.
Right,
but
yeah. Do you have any
no
guesses?
No one here watching is going to know or care. But Senator Pratt, senator from Quebec, I will not say what I call him on the stream because if he ever sees it, I might get fired. I really like him. He's a great senator. Asks great questions. He's a former journalist. He just seems like a quiet kind of guy who might have like a secret D&D fetish. Senator Atulajan, I just feel like I look at her and I'm like, yeah, you love D&D. I know
These
it.
are people you think play D&D now?
Yeah. I mean, probably none of them do, but in my mind, I'm creating these stories about all of these Canadian senators.
Maybe you should try and
right.
put together an all-senator...
Yeah, okay, that's it. Every time I see them in the hallway, I'm just gonna be like, hey, want to join us and play some D&D?
You know where I could get my niche? Because older people love me? Maybe I'll do an all, 60 and up.
Nice, I like it.
Get my mom. We'll get your mom back on.
My mom is not over 60.
She's not?
No.
No. Sorry.
You think my mom looks over 60?
I have older parents and I forget.
That's true. My
Yeah.
mom is also young for the other parents in my age group. I think Ignacio's
She doesn't
parents,
look 60. I
qualify.
just assume that moms around our age. Unfortunately, but luckily, she's not watching right now. So.
I'm gonna tell her you said
Yeah,
that.
I forget that I've got slightly older
Yeah.
parents.
No, my mom is 52, so
Well, she'd still be
she's
in.
got a while, but. Time to call the mom police. Yes. Yes.
Emily, do you think your mom would play?
Is your mom over 60? You need to be careful with these questions.
Well, I can do all moms.
That's true. I mean, we've already got a lot of moms, but
Yeah.
you could do all moms.
I just think I could probably get a couple more of my aunts and then get my mom on. 50 and up is also
Yeah,
still...
you're gonna give the D&D grandma a run for her money. That's what you're gonna do.
Maybe I could get the D&D grandma
Get
to
the
guest
D&D
star.
grandma, yeah.
She is a fan of the deck of many products. Mom is 57.
Really, Ignacio? Ignacio's making the nerdiest jokes. Really?
Also, 15 minutes too late, buddy. Where you been? Oh, right here listening to the whole conversation? Wow. He's literally sitting right here. Handcrafting these fine jokes for us.
Can you hear him laughing at his own jokes also?
Yeah.
There's a
He's
delay.
laughing at us hating on
There's
his
a
joke.
delay.
Yeah, but they will hear you laughing eventually.
Emily's mom might play.
But she's only 57.
Well, 50 and up is still a pretty,
Okay. That's fair.
you know.
I don't think my Nana would play. She doesn't watch our show, apparently. My mom tried to...
She specifically doesn't?
No, my mom tried to show her the first episode, and she stood there politely for about 1 minute, and then Paramount was like, nope, and then just walked away. I got a sassy grandma.
Your Nana thinks we make trash.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not good enough for her.
No. Although she did want me to explain in detail this weekend all about
What it is?
this thing that I have to write.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm writing a thing. Did we talk about this in the last Hot Iron? I don't think
I
I
didn't
did
have
then. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we talked about it, but I don't think it was a thing yet.
No, I don't think it was. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but I'm writing a thing. I'm writing a thing
It
for
was an
GM
open
Guild.
casting.
Yeah.
Open call. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say I'm running a thing for the DMs Guild.
Yeah, it's like a compilation of stories using monsters in interesting ways. And
Yes.
it's all women.
So it's feminist,
Feminist.
like interpretations of monsters, basically. So I'm writing that. That's really exciting. I'm writing a thing about sirens. But so she really wanted me to explain what that meant, and I had to like take out a book and like show her what an adventure looked like, and she very politely pretended to understand while looking bored, and I was kind of like, well, you wanted to know.
Yeah, my mom does the glaze over, and then the kind of like a tisk kind of noise after sometimes, like a wasted youth or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Although my mom played and loved it, so there you go.
Maybe she just thinks it's a weird career. I think that's what I think that my grandma.
Well, so, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if she was wary when I said I wanted to go into animation, and now I'm an artist full time, which is nice, and she's realizing you can do it, which is
Yeah.
good. But, yeah, now it's like I spend the rest of my time playing D&D.
All your free time.
Difficult.
My family just asked me if I won every time we stream.
You do, Anna, or is it Emily, Anna, whatever your name is.
Yeah,
you're all
Anna wins
born-
every time.
Anna
Well,
wins.
Anna especially wins when her guns don't misfire.
Yes.
So.
Congratulations again,
Yay!
Emily. You didn't roll a 2.
Yeah. Do we want to say anything else about D&D? It's fun. We play too much of it.
We were talking about people who we would play with and about groups that we play with and stuff.
Yeah.
Who would you pull from the ether if you could have anyone at your table?
Oh, that's an unfair question to just like drop on me when we have like 4 minutes
Well, that means
left.
it's just off the top of your...
Who would
Pick a dead person so they
I
can't be offended. The other dead people
play
can't be
with?
offended.
Who would you play with while I figure?
Like
this
anyone of
out?
all time?
Yeah, well, that was your question. Who would you pull from the ether?
I would probably play D&D with... Can it be a fictional character?
Sure.
I know I asked the question.
You asked the
but
question, but yes, give me a fictional character.
I would love to play D&D with... I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry.
Ignacio says Douglas Adams. That's a good one. You know
That is
what?
an excellent
Okay,
choice.
if it's fictional characters,
Terry Pratchett. Then I would pick Terry Pratchett.
I
I want both of them at the table.
if it's fictional characters, I would like to play D&D with all of the clones from Orphan Black. Clone Club D&D game would be excellent.
I would love to DM a game for the Stranger Things kids.
Ooh, yeah.
Although they look like they got it
but-
figured out.
The like actor kids or like their characters?
Both.
Okay.
I hope they play D&D together. That's my hope for them, is that they actually play D&D for Edition or whatever.
I hope so too.
Yeah. That's my hope for the whole world.
I would not want to play with the Duffer Brothers, however. Turns out they're jerks.
Yeah.
And it's most unfortunate that I like that show. There I am with the politics again. Who else would I play with? Let me try to pick a not fictional person.
Terry Pratchett, that's a good one. Terry Pratchett, Douglas Adams, Neil Gaiman. Just a bunch of, like, interesting fantasy writers. These are all dudes. Which is unfortunate.
It's funny because I'm sitting here being like, what women would I want to play with? There are like
Yeah.
going to be no men at my table. Unless we eat them. Just seems normal.
Let's play with, Emily wants to play with the McElroys from Adventure Time.
Okay.
Adventure Zone,
Cool.
pardon me.
Cool.
Actually, what's his face from the Creative Adventure Time? He'd be fun to play with.
Hamilton?
Hamilton Ward, good.
I would like to play with... God, this is so hard. I can't think of anyone dead. It's like I know no dead people.
I mean, anyone would be interesting. Like
Um,
Einstein. Play D&D with Einstein. He'd be, like, doing all the math.
You know what I want? I want an all Scots table. I just said no men, but I want an all Scots table at which James McAvoy sits.
James McAvoy.
Can you think of any other Scots? Really? Sam Heughan from Outlander. That would be fun.
trying to think of the lady Scott.
Which Doctor Who? Ignacio says Doctor Who. Technically, there were 2 Scots on Doctor Who,
Oh.
although only one of them got to be an actual Scot on Doctor Who. Jodie Whittaker's not Scottish, is she? Because otherwise I would choose her. Lady Scots. Well, I mean, I guess any of the women who feature on Outlander.
Are they all actually Scottish?
Well, not the main woman. Obviously know nothing about Outlander, because she's British. But actually, the actress is Irish, so that's confusing. But most of the women who like Philip Rossapast are actually Scottish, yes. Mary Queen of, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yep.
sure. Good. I bet you she'd be a great D&D player. Anyway, I want an all Scots table. Mostly because I think it would be fun to listen to them.
Mm-hmm. This is our show, I guess.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock.
Anyway, it's 9 o'clock. I'm sorry this was such a terrible show, I guess.
It's a sleepy show. We told you that at the beginning.
We just reached our highest viewers as we're ending.
Yeah.
So that happened.
I mean, we can give them another 5 minutes, I guess. I don't
True.
know.
If anyone has actual questions.
Does anyone, like, any serious questions?
Yeah, actual questions.
Emily, we're looking at you. 50%
I'm
of the chat
I'm
is you.
also checking
Our viewers went down.
the oh god. See, okay, we talked about Scots, apparently. That's how you get viewers.
Yeah. The Scottish internet found us.
No questions there. Questions? I'm just checking all. I have too many social media accounts, is the problem. I feel like no one has actual questions. Ignacio, do you have questions?
Emily asks if you meant all Scots or all Scots, capital S, extra T. Humans named Scott.
No, I meant all Scots, the first
I think she
the
knew
first
that.
one. I think she did too. Although,
She's just messing up. What year?
I
You love a Scot?
I do love a Scot.
We're up to 6 viewers now.
Amazing. See, it's Scots. So what's our second favorite character after
Anna. Good
okay,
one.
but first I will finish my Scot thing and then we will answer that question.
Yes,
And then we'll wrap it
Bastille.
up. I love a Scot.
Wonder if he does Blue Bastille. Nice. He really is emotionless.
He really is. It's really a struggle for Nika. But I do love a Scot. I would play at a table of all Scots.
Like all of
That
of
one
that
Scot-
guy?
of that
Yeah,
Scot.
I totally would.
Just a table of him. Yeah.
Weird.
Which is the second time I have said clones, basically. So I don't know what that says about me. 3 viewers. You ever notice the more I talk, the more our viewers go down? I don't know how to interpret that.
They also went up while we talked, so
So what's your second favorite character after Anna?
this is a loaded question.
How about you say a favorite Winter Oak character, and I'll say a favorite... It's a little less loaded
Firm
that
but
way.
fair, firm but fair. Well, still, it's rough.
I love them all. It is an unfair question, because I love them all.
I think my favorite role-playing remains your mom, Og.
Yeah?
I think she just... And I think she thinks I'm I toot her horn too much, but... Or something, I don't know. Maybe I'm overselling it, but honestly... Her confidence isn't so great, you were saying, but she sells the character. You understand what Og's about when Og speaks, you know? So I think from a role-playing perspective, everyone is great. From a role-playing perspective, Og is a treat.
Right. I think... Again, I do. I love them all. I mean, I got to have like a little bit of a moment with Walker when I guested as my weird ghost elf character. I think I like the mystery of Sierra.
Yeah.
I know, because I am all-powerful, but like I enjoy like waiting to watch that mystery unfold. I think that's a lot of fun. But I also just really love the little mechanical spellcasting armor, so
Yeah,
maybe
Lunabelle...
Lunabelle gets...
Lunabelle is like the glue that keeps the group together in a lot of ways. Because she'll just be like, hey, let's go do something fun.
Yeah.
And everyone... She's like leading Sierra around by the hand and stuff. It's adorable.
Yeah.
It's
And
adorable.
I haven't really got a chance to interact with Ruby yet, but I'm sure that they're great. And I do love Anna. You know what? Alicia loves Anna. I feel like if I was like anybody on the Progress crew, I would be the most like Anna.
Maybe.
You
like
don't
you
agree?
think Alicia would be like
yeah.
Anna?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No?
You mean you play a character like Anna?
No, I think I'm the most like Anna. I feel like you really don't agree with that statement. That's fine.
Well, Anna's kind of... I think you're a little cleverer than Anna. A lot cleverer than Anna, to be honest. I think Anna's got a 9 in her intelligence.
Well, I don't know. I just like her. I feel like maybe I would just be friends
And Anna
with
is
her.
very pro-industry, which you are not.
That's
And
true.
Anna is was very much about selling...
It's her
tickets.
personality.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
her personality.
She's definitely like the sassiest.
I do like to sass.
You've been known to.
Yeah. All right.
Anna is who I am in my heart. Oh, that's nice. And also, sorry?
Ignacio votes for Mrs. Potts. I guess.
It's his
as
favorite
his
character
favorite
overall.
character. Good choice. On that note, on the Mrs. Potts note, I feel like it's a good note to go
It's
out on.
9:05. The people
Love
who came
for
to watch
Mrs.
are
Potts.
gone.
It's true. We're just holding everyone else hostage.
It's just Ignacio and Emily and a third mystery person who's not
Who's
saying
the
anything.
mystery person?
We can find out.
Mystery person? See, that's a huge list
Nightbot!
of people.
Is it Nightbot that's watching?
No, that's the moderators.
What is this?
This is all the list of users who are supposedly able to type in our chat, but we don't have that many viewers, so I really don't know. Oh, that could be viewers on other sites, like
Could be.
the ones that you're hosting. Maybe get like many people there.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is we have a mystery viewer. Hello, mystery viewer,
Thank
and
you, mystery
I'm
viewer.
sorry.
Yeah. Sorry that this is the one you decided to watch.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll be back in 2 weeks with an episode that will be better. Maybe.
Don't make promises like that.
I will prepare
Don't write
questions.
checks your ass can't cash.
My ass can cash. My ass can cash a lot of checks. That would have been so much better if I had not misspoke.
So remember, fart in jars.
What's happening right now?
Fart in jars. Keep them. Do not release them into the atmosphere. The ozone is still there, people. And good night.
Good night. 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes.